G'day everybody, welcome back to Sprouts Tarot. So today's reading is what's going on in your love life. So I've got 3 cards for you to choose from, and this is from the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. And just as a clarifier, I don't pick the cards personally, so I just shuffle, and whichever cards fall out, I just take that to be the main theme. So here are your choices, and because I know I've got this like light reflection, I'm going to show you the cards up close and personal so you can get a better feel for it. Okay, so this is card number 1. Okay, so card number 2. And card number 3. Okay, so please go by intuition. Whichever card speaks to you the most, just click onto that group. I'll see you over the other side. Welcome back, group 1. So if you chose this card, what is happening right now seems to be some sort of obstacle. Okay, so as you can see, 5 and challenging times. This, of course, is traditionally the 5 of Swords energy. You can see that he's got this shield. The shield is not wearing a happy expression, though it looks as though it's neutral, and its eyes are kind of like in half awake mode. So the better interpretation is there's a sense of indifference, and even if you look at his face, he kind of looks a little somber. He can only see this part of his world, right? So this is all he can see. He can't see what is greater in his mind sphere anyway. So he can only see this limitation. And hence there's a kind of maybe defensive posture, even though he probably doesn't have strong feelings, but it's kind of like defensive because he feels that there's a limitation. So currently, your relationship is at a point that needs growth. And so all relationships have a light and shadow aspect. And so currently, the shadow aspect is it's going through a transition or a change. So this is taken from the Lantern Oracle deck, and this is a very, very wonderful shadow deck. So I don't know if people have ever worked with this one. I specifically use this one to do my shadow work for myself. I took a shadow journey back a while ago, and this deck is amazing for that. So it says you have all of the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. And as you can see, she is an elder. So this is crone energy. So in terms of a cycle, or a season, this is akin to winter in a relationship. So things are maybe a little unclear, because you can see there's definitely different types of light and darkness all merged into one. And this kind of transitory time is just after the completion of one cycle, but before the rebirth. So you've got guidance here. So underlying the current struggles is the fact that you have inner knowledge on how to navigate this circumstance, even though it feels hard at the moment. So this is maybe not your first rodeo, okay, in terms of the relationship changing. Now, I've got 2 sides to represent your partner's energy and your energy. Okay, so let's talk about you first. So the card that I pulled for your energy is the Raven. So the Raven is basically a spiritual messenger, but it's in shadow form. And it's the kind of dark or quiet side of us that comes up to try to guide and to get us to not feel afraid. And this is air energy, clearly, because the raven's in mid-flight. And it says, wise woman, a change is coming. So this mirrors the bottom part or the foundations of your relationship. And in between this waning and waxing moon lies the full moon. So one cycle, like I said before, has already reached fruition. It's already the results. And of course, the next growth cycle is preparing itself. So you're probably the calmer one in the sense of understanding where this relationship is at the moment. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got everything under control. It just means that when you have your quiet moments, you understand the cyclical nature of relationships. Now, your partner, on the other hand, okay, so if you take a look at this, this is air energy. This is air and earth working together. And the panda is mid-climb, trying to reach the yummies and maybe trying to get a better view of his or her world, okay, depending on your partnership preference. So the panda energy is striving for balance, because you can imagine climbing any tree leaves you in quite a precarious state, because unlike the raven, the panda doesn't have wings. Ask how to bring balance to the situation and into your heart. So what this feels like to me is that your partner is going through some sort of growth spurt, or they're trying to elevate themselves in some way. And they need this part of their journey simply because it's a necessary stage in their own spiritual development, is to have maybe some sort of social increase or recognition of some sort. But there's a material change along with an emotional or spiritual aspect to why your partner is trying to climb up or trying to change his or her view. Okay, so this is what currently is grounding the relationship. One partner is trying to rebalance a material element and an emotional or intellectual element in his or her life. And you, on the other hand, you're able to take a higher perspective on why this change has occurred. And even though this relationship is challenging at this particular stage, it is blessed by the fact that there's knowledge, there's a foundation built on why these changes occur. So just on a superficial reading, it doesn't seem as though it's too turbulent. But now what we're going to do is we're going to call up on some different cards to see where this is actually going. So these are psychological cards. So let's see, what is the current movement? So what's the motion governing this stage of the relationship? Okay, now, not everything I'll be able to piece together. Is this clear? Okay, all right. This is, the directions are pretty clear to me. Okay, so now let's see the sequence. Okay, so let's see how many cards we can fit here. But the first card that falls out will start the sequence. Oops, okay, there we go. All right. Oh. Okay. Let me just get one. Just let me get one tarot just to ground this. Okay, so what's the significator? Do we have another? Okay. All right. All right, so as you can see, what I said before is pretty much reflected upon another system. Okay, so this is tarot, this is oracle, this is psychological, this is another tarot, and basically these different systems all align with the same message. Things have fallen off a cliff. The precipice is a dangerous point. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're in this car or if you think you're represented by this like cow falling off the cliff. What started this cycle, of course, is turbulence. Okay, so the point where the highest peak had already been reached, there's no more ground that you could cover. So of course a change is definitely in place. Okay, there has to be a change. So the change could be someone falling off or somebody driving off, but things cannot remain in stasis forever. Now, what is a challenging time because of this incident? This incident is actually good in the sense that, okay, this is what I see. I see two people working harmoniously while riding in, or the mode of transport is some sort of like wheelchair like vehicle. Okay, so it means that what is normally regarded as some sort of obstacle, but because you work stronger as a pair, you're cycling through this together. You are moving in tandem. So even though it is a challenging phase, pretty much you're looking at each other and you're holding on to each other in the belief that you'll get through this eventually. What you can see here are different belief systems, and it doesn't matter what the belief system is. Okay, so you can see Christianity here, you can see Islam, you can see different things. However, the triangle, of course, is the Holy Trinity, and whatever differences there are in our world view, it encompasses something greater. Okay, so we're basically all pursuing the same thing, even though we go about it in very different ways. And it doesn't matter which point we are in, we are arriving in our own, we are arriving to our own conclusions in our own unique way. Okay, so the sequence of what has happened so far, it looks like what was originally tenderness in the connection, in the relationship, turned to a situation of questioning. So it looks as though he's trying to reassure her of something or trying to prove himself to her in some way. Because you can see here, even differences in the beginning were, it just wasn't a problem at all. A relationship began because of difference. However, further on in the relationship, these differences needed an explanation. So maybe on both sides, one needed assurance, one needed to explain himself or herself, this kind of couple dynamic, which led to a temporary gap in basically in connecting. So you can see that these two people, they have some sort of relationship together, but they're facing away from each other and the hands are in a very defensive pose. Okay, so here is where things become maybe a little cold. This is where the indifference possibly comes in. Now maybe on the worst side of the spectrum is this card, which could involve some sort of force in trying to make the other person understand. And because of this particular structure, the initiation, the proving oneself, the not understanding how to align to each other's belief system and to eventual force, has led to the feeling that it's better just to hide yourself away and that the emotions that you currently feel, it's better not to express them, and hence you get this fella with a defensive shield but without any expressions. So maybe the relationship has reached a point where one party or both parties are sick and tired of explaining themselves to the other, and hence there's this hermit crab type of situation where you just don't want to talk about things anymore. But underlying this is going to be the renewal, the return to innocence. So you can look at this as the original Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve are sitting and just admiring the beauty that surrounds them without any preconceived notions, without any premeditated thoughts on the other person, just nothing at all. It's just the bare essentials. It's going back to the very innocent plane of how things were before things got complicated. Okay, so my interpretation is it's not easy what you're currently experiencing, and it is primarily because the ego needs some sort of recognition, maybe more so from your partner than yourself, but there needs to be some sort of validation or recognition from one partner from the other. Okay, so this is like a very necessary bonding tool that needs to be used, in that the partners need to see each other. Even if you're living together, I mean, we all run through these cycles, right? Where we have a partner who we live together with, but who no longer see us, or we no longer see them. And it's like the biggest slap across the face sometimes if you're standing in front of someone and they still can't really see who you are. And so I think this is what is happening at the moment with your relationship. But there is, like I said, there is going to be a turnaround. First of all, you've got this crone energy who's already been there, done that, guiding you through it. And finally, the outcome is the possibility of rekindling this relationship back to its original form of innocence and wanting the best for each other is going to come up again. So a new cycle is starting for this particular relationship. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. I hope this cleared something for you, and I look forward to seeing you again. And thank you once again for dropping by. Welcome back, Group 2. So if you chose this card, Embrace, you are in for quite a nice reading. Okay, so as you can see, this guy has his arms out and the heart center rests at the core of his world. Okay, so love grows from this point on. And this particular growth pierces his heart center as well. And from this, you can see, now, I don't know if this will show up, but this is the 1,000-petal lotus of the Sahasrara chakra, so the crown chakra. So it's an enlightenment of some sort, of reaching enlightenment, or trying to anyway. And so this is traditional tarot. This is the world card. But as you can see, he's embracing the dark as well as the inner glow, or the inner glow has pushed its way, or if you think of it in reverse, it also makes sense. From the darkness, the brightness of love slowly causes the dark shadows to dissipate. Okay, so this, of course, is a very good starter energy for our reading. So it means there is a completion of one, either psychological aspect of the self or of the relationship. So it's an all-embracing kind of energy. Now, like I said to Group 1, relationships are a mixed bag of the shadow and of the light. So today's reading I've paired with the Lantern Oracle, which is specifically a shadow deck. And I wanted to see what is grounding this particular connection. And the card that I got was 21, key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. Okay, that's a really, really powerful message. So as you can see, this light, similar to this one, can you see the heart formation? Same with this heart formation that starts from the core of the earth. Now here, this core is going to serve as her guiding light. So this particular reading, a lot of it is going to include loving the shadow aspects of ourselves or of the relationship to make it whole. That's the basic message, okay? So this particular key to intimacy means, how well do you want someone to love you? Do you want someone to love you for the image that you want to project, or do you want them to love you warts and all, the person who you really are? So we are all flawed human beings. Simply being here, like we have our little, like we have bits of our stories that we don't want to read out loud. Everybody has this. So this question is asking you, what kind of love are you seeking? Are you seeking that love that satisfies the ego because somebody's in love with this image of you being a certain way? Or do you want them to love you really for 100% of both the dark and light? I'm having trouble speaking today. Okay, now this, I've separated the piles. One is your partner's energy, the other one is your energy. So let's go with you first, because you're the cute little squirrel. And yesterday I had a squirrel deck that just came. I had, well, it didn't come yesterday, but I basically blessed it yesterday, the oak, thorn and oak, ash and thorn deck, and it had so many squirrels, and I'm totally in love with that deck. Can't wait to work with it. Okay, so you are represented by the squirrel. The squirrel is an absolute delight. So you're probably as cute as a button just by this alone. You're probably quite an adorable person, because this squirrel, okay, let's read the message here. Spiritual maintenance, be your own caretaker. Squirrels, like we all know, despite looking like a cute bundle of fluff and joy, they're actually very prescient. They're kind of like, they're the accountants of the animal kingdom, but just imagine a very comical, funny and warm accountant. Okay, so they plan ahead by storing food. They know where to go. They know how to hide stuff, and they also know how to have fun. So, and the thing is, as they're foraging, as they're collecting, they look as though they're having fun doing it. It doesn't feel as though it's stressful for them. Okay, so for you, it looks as though you're pretty well balanced. So you've got basically air and earth energy. You know how to have fun. You know how to provide security for yourself. And also you're kind of like a forward-looking person. Hence, you understand how to store things. Okay, so that's always predicting the future, storing stuff. Now, your partner, on the other hand, is this crane. Okay, so this crane card. Now, it says surrender, let go of limiting beliefs, be as expansive in your thoughts as your soul is. So you can pretty much see this is a gorgeous, gorgeous picture as well. It seems as though it's from one crane and it's projecting different versions of itself, both in shadow and light form. This is only what it looks like. Could be a bunch of cranes flying, but it looks like it's emanating from one particular crane, and it's setting out like kind of like a multiverse formation where there's different characters all played out, but embracing both sides of each role that he or she will undergo. Okay, and this card is telling your partner that it is time to grow. It's to be expansive. And I think this particular card in or energy that your partner has is what this relationship is tuned into. Because you've always been able to provide for yourself and you've had fun doing it, your partner probably believes that if they don't release this part of the shadow self or a part of themselves that they don't really want others to know, that they can't like move ahead if people really truly knew who they were. And I think your job in this relationship is to encourage your partner to look forward and have fun. Like, it doesn't matter what it is that they've collected. You're pretty sure that even if you collect a bad nut, that there'll be a lot of good nuts to come, or acorns, sorry. Yeah, acorns. Even if you accidentally collect a bad acorn, there's gonna be like a lot of other good ones to balance it out. And that's the perspective that you're giving your partner. And I think this is why this relationship is going to be an all-embracing one because of this dynamic. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use psychological cards here and see what is the driving or the motion of this relationship currently. Okay, so let's see what comes out for this reading. So please show me the motion. What's the motion? Okay, let's put this here. Oh, what's this traffic sign? For me, it looks like a, okay, sign with white line. Okay, it's a prohibition. Okay, I should know this. Yeah, you can tell that I don't drive, right? Okay, so prohibition. Now, that kind of came out, that's a little bit of a blindsided thing for me. I didn't expect that. Oh, but then it makes sense. Okay, because, yeah. Okay, so there's prohibition. Now, let's see the sequence. Show me the dynamic of the relationship. Show me the dynamic of the relationship. First card. Oh, okay, there we go. We've got some cards. Oh, I got another one hiding here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. Doesn't that tell a story? If you can see this, I think this is like a running movie. Do I even need another tarot clarifier? I don't think I even do at this stage. Okay, so like I said before, this is exactly the original energies being picked up. Your partner here feels trapped. Okay, so you can see a person that's pretty much caged. Oh, okay, so this is YouTube, sorry. Okay, so a person who's caged here. He doesn't understand how to let himself out, to be honest. And it looks as though the weather is quite turbulent at this stage. So I'm just going to cover the part, and let you see. It looks as though rain is falling on this particular person, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this card over simply because I'm not going to spend the rest of this time holding this part, okay? So this is what this card looks like. Okay, so it's a man caged in. Now, can you see this one? The caged in feeling for this person is a constant sense of prohibition. It's a taboo point. And your partner has always been able just to have a glimpse of what it feels like to live freely, to be without this particular confinement. And he's only got a small view of it. So it's like when you see something that you shouldn't, right? And you're just looking through a peephole. And this is what is happening here. This person looks like that they are unclothed. And the reason, the symbolic meaning of this, of course, nakedness is to be oneself. in one's birthday suit, right? So this person is actually just doing something that's very normal. They're in the nude, reading maybe a book of some sort, and without a care in this world. And this is not something which is controversial. Like, people read in the nude, like on their bed. So what? But for this person to see this, it's like a revolutionary event. This person has had his worldview shaken, that somebody can feel so relaxed and have such a good time, maybe doing something very mundane. And for this person, your partner, this is already groundbreaking. And so once again, we've got this peeping aspect again. So for a long while, your partner has been searching for this kind of intimacy in his or her life. So as you can see, this person hiding behind the tree is looking at a very loving couple from a distance and maybe wishing, I want to have what they are having, kind of feeling, okay? So this is the intimate bond. Now, the final, actually, let me see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Oh, okay, now I understand. Okay. This person wants this very, very traditional loving relationship. And this is the desire. This is what you bring to this particular relationship in order to release what has been pent up or pushed down, oppressed, in denial from your partner. And it's this. Maybe when your partner was young, he or she came from a fractured family. And so there were very strict limitations of what was acceptable and what was not acceptable in the family front. And hence your partner grew up with the belief that you cannot truly be who you are. If you do, people will leave you. You will be abandoned. And this is why this particular element in your relationship right now, it is for you or one partner to break away this mindset and to receive full unconditional love, which is most likely what you're going to bring to this relationship, or you're going to help heal. And you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And the first part is teaching your partner how to have fun while being responsible. So maybe all your partner's life, they have believed that to be responsible is to be strict. It is to be a Svengali-like figure and just hover over people, demanding things and having rules. And while you're showing this other side that, yeah, there are rules, yeah, you must plan, but hey, let's have a blast while we do that. So this prohibition of having very strict rules and all that is going to be blown away by love. You're going to teach your partner that you don't have to be so strict with yourself, because amongst maybe one bad acorn, there's like 10 good acorns surrounding that one bad one. So whatever shortfall he or she believes that they have will be made up, because overall they're a wonderful person. Okay, so that's what I have for you today, and that's what I think is going on currently in your relationship. But it looks warm and fuzzy and cute, and it looks like this element will be healed. Okay, all right, thank you very much for letting me read for you, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. So if you chose this card, it looks like your current relationship status is at a point where you need to revert back to simpler times. So this card in a traditional tarot deck is the Six of Cups. So it's the innocence of childhood, or when things were more simple. So maybe your relationship now is mired in an energy which is based on maybe quid pro quo exchanges, or what can you do for me versus what can I do for you? And instead of being undergirded by one that's based on affinity, like you simply love being with each other. So there's two interpretations here. One could be that this is himself going back to, just imagine if he could go back and see the child version of himself, what would the dialogue be like? Or this could be a family father-son bond, or maybe it's a family that's already made, and this is like stepfather, stepson kind of energy. But basically it is asking you to love maybe your partner, and now don't twist these things in a weird way, but it means to love your partner in the same way that you have love for a child, in the sense that it is completely without an ulterior motive. So that's what I feel this means. Now, every relationship has a shadow and light aspect. And so I wanted to see what were the shadow aspects of this particular connection. So for that, I'm using the Lantern Oracle. It's a shadow work deck. And the card that I got was 31. And it says intention. So lacking personal direction begets confusion and life as a pawn to someone else's game of chess. So for me, this looks like she's standing behind a trident. Neptunian emotion is kind of fuzzy, but the trident is Neptune's like tool for establishing authority. So I have a feeling, and she's got wings, so to take flight. This is very powerful ability to have, which is flight. But more importantly, this to me feels like water, and water represents emotions, so it does mean to stand firm in controlling your emotions. And this looks like a pretty nuclear family, doesn't it? Like mum, dad with child. Okay, so now I've also split the reading into two different energies. So this is your energy in the relationship, and this is your partner's energy in the relationship. So let's go to your energy first. So the card that I got for you was the kangaroo. So this is earth and fire energy. It says courage, you are being tested, have faith and stand in your truth. So I don't know the situation yet, because we're just getting the baseline energies here, but clearly this is not a black and white situation. So this is going to be a process. As you can see, the kangaroo is actually mobile and moving from one destination to another. Kangaroos are very powerful animals, so they've got a really big kick, and they are very strong, and they travel very quickly, and they can go for long distances, like travel long distances. So this is a journey. Whatever the current event is in your life that is connected to this reading, it's already been a journey for you. And it is asking that despite what you see or what you've experienced, you cannot let go of what you fundamentally believe is the truth. So my guess is that there's a lot of trials here testing your particular truth. Now your partner's energy here is the wolf. So this is air and earth energy. Heart medicine, let go of that which does not serve your highest good. So this looks like an Alaskan wolf dog type of creature, and surrounded in a very cold place. Kangaroos belong in Australia, like known to be like a warm, hot, sunny, dry place. So the way that you see reality is basically polar opposites. And even you're looking this way, okay? So you're looking towards moving forward, but your partner is captured looking directly at the front. So whatever problems that your partner currently is or has encountered is keeping him rooted in one spot. And the views are not changing, whereas your views are constantly changing. So you're getting new stimulus, but your partner isn't. And there's something that is keeping him bolted to one particular place. And that reason is he can't figure out what it is that he truly desires. So maybe he's resisting being pulled in a direction that he doesn't want to go to. But he doesn't actually have a direction that he would like to move towards. So this is possibly why he's still. Okay, so now those are just the main elements. Now let's see if we can find out more about what's happening. So now I've got psychological cards. Now I want to see what is the motion for this relationship at present. So what's the movement? What's the energy now? Okay, what's happening? Oh, there's resistance. Look, you can't move forward. Okay, so yeah, you're meeting up with quite a stubborn obstacle, and it's caused, wow, it's broken the tires, the windows are broken, and also even the car's dented in. What's this name of this animal? I'm not so good with these huge animals. Is this like a... No, it's not. Wait, what's the animal with curly horns? Okay, let's see what that is. I've got like an antelope, but I'm sure it's not that. It's not that. Oh, don't worry about it, but you get the general gist. I was trying to look for characteristics of whatever this animal is, and I should know. Where's my general common sensical knowledge? Okay, but as you can see, you're not going anywhere because the obstacle is staring you down. So this is your partner being immobilized. Okay, so what's going on? What's going on? Okay, now give me the picture layout, please. Give me the picture layout. What's actually going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Why is there this extreme blockage here? Why is there this blockage? First card full starts the process. Show me what's going on, please. Okay. Card number... Oh, we got one of these again. Sorry, I'm going to have to, because YouTube's rules. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, well. It's at the... Oh, okay. This looks like a tough one. This looks like a tough one. Okay, just to be totally honest with this, and let's keep the reading Disney, okay? So if this was a real life, like one-on-one reading, of course I would be more direct, but let's keep this Disney. Okay, so truthfully, what is here? There's maybe a temper issue involved in this relationship. There is definitely a temper issue of some sort. And this arises simply because the background, maybe especially from your partner, started from maybe childhood, where they were always excluded. They felt as though they were the loner or the one that didn't belong. And from this particular childhood, maybe concretely formed their current worldview, stems from this particular childhood feeling. And it could have been a childhood incident that showed that they were the outsider in one critical age phase, or it was just persistent. But what I mean by that is, like, when I entered high school and I was like 12, 13, right? I was rejected from my home group. So I had like a group of girls that I wanted to be friends with because I didn't know anyone. I moved from my primary school to a high school that I was not local. So I changed friend groups totally. So I didn't know anyone in my high school. And so I'm not such an outgoing or proactive person, but at that time I forced myself to try to integrate because I wanted to belong. And I remember I asked these 3 girls who were sitting together, and I said, can I please join you? And then they rolled their eyes. One of them rolled her eyes and said, yeah. And I had the distinct feeling that I wasn't welcomed. But that was only one incident. But for most of the other times as a child and teenager, I was welcomed in groups. But because that hit at the cusp of puberty, I still have that image in my mind of feeling rejection. So the same thing could happen for your partner. So they could have been rejected at a critical age phase, or it was just a series of small rejections leading to them feeling like the outcast. The relationship initially that was forged was very colorful, or because it was very exclusive, just you and this other person. And the bond was very, very tight knit, because this is the only way that this relationship could feel secure, was that everything needed just to be about you two in this bubble. Okay? But I think fundamentally what this person really needs is to see themselves completely. For a very long time, this person has been interpreted by other people. So other people, quote unquote, drew the persona of this person. And while your partner probably felt in some ways recognition because of this, they were never allowed to be in the position of the artist. So they were always here waiting for somebody else to depict them. And so how they saw themselves versus how other people saw them are completely different. So if you take a look at this sepia image, or black and white image, depending on how you kind of want to see things, is something that is fragmented from real life. Okay, so black and white sepia images are images that have faded from our reality. It's something from the past. And this image could be a relationship that your partner really desired. So in his mind, or in her mind, this image of a couple doing things together, it looks like the man's trying to catch something, which I can't see what he's trying to catch. This is just so bizarre. It looks like she's doing some sort of dance. He's doing some sort of dance with a net. Yeah, but this kind of harmonious energy of either doing a dance or she's pointing something for him to catch is the engagement that your partner needed, but your partner was always seen or objectified. So when you guys came together, your partner wanted this specific bonding that was so close that you couldn't, notice the distance here, notice the distance, lack of distance here. So when someone is looking at you, painting you, this objectification, it is at a distance. So your partner desire this fusion where the lines between you and them were blurred. You were just basically one. And this stemmed from always feeling like the outsider as a kid. However, now I'm not exactly sure why the anger issue has occurred, but when your partner does explode in rage, your partner becomes a Hulk-like creature. And sometimes when that happens, things can get out of hand. And this is why one side needs to work on themselves in order to release what no longer serves them. So this anger issue, turning like the Hulk, could stem from the sheer fact that when they were a child, they were always ostracized. And okay, if you take a look, this is obviously a BFF arrangement with this third person looking in. Now, these two, like best friends, are enamored with each other, and there's nothing that can break their bond except how. So go back to a child's perspective. There are a few options that can be exercised. This child could be very disruptive, so to break their attention by screaming, crying, fighting, or by becoming so big in size, like proportionally, that it forces their view to switch and notice. So it could be in terms, not, I mean, we can't physically make ourselves grow huge, right? Not just like that anyway. But we can make our personalities very big. We can make our temper very big. We can make our humor very big. So in order to get noticed. And it looks like your partner chose the course of exercising big anger, big displays of anger to get people's attention. And I think so at this stage in your relationship, if you don't take yourself and move away, any vehicle that you choose to travel into, move away, is going to be countered by this animal that I don't know the name of, shamefully. This animal is going to cause bumps, it's going to deflate your tire, it's going to break your animals to stop your ability to move on. So you got to do what you got to do to move ahead and reclaim what it is that you've lost. So if you've been giving yourself reasons on why this isn't so bad, I think this reading is telling you to please open your eyes and see things very, very clearly, because you have to prize yourself as being the most important in the relationship. And so this Simply Love is a dual message for both sides. One, for your partner to get reacquainted with the childhood aspects of him or herself before this became an issue, before ostracization became an issue. And it is to get yourself to re-encounter the child you. Could you justify maybe staying for this relationship to the innocent version of yourself? Could you make enough excuses to say why I'm not protecting you? So this reading took a pathway that I totally wasn't expected I was totally not expecting, actually. I thought this was just going to be a very simple one, but the cards have shown me something that I didn't think was going to be the reading. So, okay, let me take one last card to see whether there's anything that I've left. It looks quite somber. Oh, okay, so we got 3 cards that fell out. Okay, but reversed. And finally 4. Okay, there we go. A new direction in how you see the relationship. This 2 of Wands, the love energy, has been either suspended or finished, right? And underlying it is the broken heart. So a new way or a new relationship or new feelings particularly will enter, is going towards your partner, the wolf. So there will be a change in perspective. There definitely is going to be a change in perspective. And there's a message here. There's a message here because once again we've got page. So what does the squirrel page want to tell us? Okay, what does the squirrel page want to tell us? There is a new opportunity. Okay, what's the message? Let it go. You're being asked to let go of whatever pain and resentment you've been holding on to. It's hurting you and you can't fully be present in your life if you're holding on to this negativity. Release it and be free. Okay, so from your side, you're suffering a broken heart and this relationship is either ending or an aspect of it is ending or suspended. And for your partner, new emotions are going to come to him or her, telling them to learn to let go of the negativity, resentment, which is our initial energy reading. So, like I said, this is a heavy reading. It is not your job to basically put your own safety in jeopardy in order to heal somebody else, okay? So you are number one in any relationship. It's always going to be you who's going to be the most important. So this person is going to change on his or her own accord. Please do not stay in something that can jeopardize your own safety emotionally, physically, or spiritually, okay? So you don't have to stay in something like this. My feeling generally is that there is a temper issue here which needs to be fixed. Okay, I'm sorry that this is not like a bright, happy reading. And actually, for today's topic, I'm actually surprised. The cards haven't come out to be particularly joyous. I'm sorry, but I don't control it, so I just deliver the message. Anyway, I thank you for letting me So, what's going on with me? I can't speak at all today. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I hope to see you again. And please take care. Whatever predicament that you are in, please understand that you are being protected. Even if by things that you can't visibly see, you are being protected. So please live your truth like the kangaroo, okay? All right, take care. Bye.